Yeah, test the chat. Okay, chat works. Kind of. Right, the stream can be seen here. What about Twitch? Can be seen on Twitch as well. Nice. And I was looking at here. Oh yeah, Singleton. Okay, that's old news. Right, what I have to do, well, what I want to do now is change all of this, move all of this code. Init config, change config, check config. Yeah, all of this should be moved to if I just cut everything out. I want to move everything to the singleton I wrote. See, this. It config, so like this. First of all, it's missing logger. So where's my logger? Right. Logger and log level. See logging. Yeah, we need to import logging. And the default log level. Oh yeah, let's name it something different. New bot logger. Singleton logger. I think it will get the style. Data handler. Menu. What is this? Menu logger. I guess I need to add this same way I did in the menu. So yeah, like this. So to have the consistent look of the logs. Oh, not really an issue. Not that I can think of. Let's see. The logger. Okay, oh, change language. Be a good name for a logger. Well, a single logger. Set level, debug. Then here I wanna add another line, so this handler will be the same. So okay, logging, get logger. This time is singleton. Guess I can just do single. No, actually I can't. Singleton as package. Well, it's module. As a module, like this, and constant logger, yeah. Oh yeah, and I need to add handler, and I add this data handler. Okay, it prints into std out. Well, imagine I wanna have the same thing. So this is format and this is file handler. Wait, how do logs look the file? Because looking at this, it looks like it only formats logs in that get printed out into the console. And with, let's lose glog. Okay, these logs. Yeah, these aren't the log. Like, yeah, these are current logs. They seem to be properly formatted. I guess they. Yeah, they don't seem to log all that much though. Let's see. I wanna change. I want to add log name of the logger. So yeah, I want to add this. Let's see here. Where do I want to have it though? Module function name level time. So maybe after time name. How do I want to separate this? Do I need any separation? Oh yeah, I wanna. I probably wanna give it a fixed width. So let's see, what's the reasonable longest name for a logger? New bot, singleton logger. That's pretty long name. List bots menu. Yeah, those names that get pretty long. If I'm gonna name loggers after the name of the file, as well, I wanna give it fixed width, so the log output would be nicely aligned like this. So if the name a certain field is shorter, like the rest of the space is filled out with white spaces. So I wanna keep that. Let's see. I wanna have the name. Okay, that's fine. Or the sound. I have no idea what that was. Just ignore it. I want to make this work as well. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Show logical structure. Still don't like how this is done. Okay, let's minimize. Still, this is not right. Shouldn't be here. Should be here. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it works fine. Logging. Okay, this is not needed anymore. Right. Get new user ID, generate payment. Okay, those shouldn't have been copied here. So let's get those back. Was it here, I guess? Maybe not. Generate payment ID. Let's see. What would it take for it to recognize? Because now it shows that these lines have been changed. They haven't really been changed. They just moved around. Oh, and the spacing is not correct. So yeah, it should be like this. Okay, that explains it. And here, what's missing here? Another line, okay. And here is where I took out well, I cut out all of this into the singleton. Connect to the database. I'm not sure why this is grayed out. Well, not grayed, it's commented out. I'm sure that's fine. Okay, update config. I guess I want to start from the beginning so I can actually test what I'm writing if I have any questions. So the first function init config is called. Let's do that. Let's work on init config first. So it's complaining. Self as first. Okay, so it needs to have an argument. Just fine. System Like this is, I don't think it is even necessary. Like this is supposed to check if the application was run like this. Like this whole nonsense was done by an example when I was learning about how different ways to run application, to run Python code. And the point here is it checks how many arguments have been passed to the command that basically that ran the Python script or code. So since this will always be running without any parameters, so it's kind of unnecessary. So all of this checking config file from the parameters, and then it checks if the file exists. File from parameters do not exist using default, and the default is, oh yeah, so if default doesn't exist, it so it just initiates an error if do not show on stream new config doesn't exist. Yeah, so all of this can be thrown away. This check if the file exists, I think, should stay. Seems like a good idea. And I think nothing else has to be changed. Also, this init config should be called here. I wonder if the init method could be yeah, it would make sense if I can let's see. Oh, actually maybe it's a little bit too late. Could I test this without breaking too much things? Let's see. First of all, I need an instance of my singleton. Singleton equals right. So now instead of init config, there is singleton init config, then there is singleton check config, and here it is again. That's pretty much it on this side. Now all I need to sort out is this mess. Config parser is a library, standard library. Config file, I think that was a global variable or something. Messages, all of this has to be saved in here. Wait, I guess the declaration don't matter anymore. Helper. Let's import helper. So helper is here. Time also needs to be imported. Anything else? Okay, the rest seems Update config, wasn't it here? Yeah. Why doesn't it recognize it? Oh, okay. First of all, let's do this. Self. Update config. So has self. And now this one doesn't map. Okay, can I do this? Self update config. Okay, so the only issue left is the config file. So config file, I think it used to be a global variable. Don't remember. Config file. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. So init config actually initiates it. Okay. Let's see. config file. And do I have a type on in config? Main singleton. Let's see. Returns config file is a string. Okay. I just declare it as a string and I'm done. Yeah, config file like this. F is another thing. F comes from here. Well, it defines the format. Logging formatter. Can I just do... Yeah. Well, I guess the most convenient place for that would be to have it as a constant somewhere. Probably here. Constant F. And now, here, so it's only referenced once. So instead of this, I have singleton CF. So constant format. Yeah, shouldn't produce any more errors. And this takes CF. I should see because it's global context in this module. Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it of the lingo as well. All the things are coming back to me. Config file. Still doesn't really recognize. Oh yeah, it should say self. Config file, encoding. Don't like how everything is cramped up like this. So it has the encoding as UTF-8. And here it needs to have self as well. And I think it's ready to run. Okay, so the initial part of moving this whole mess into the singleton is done. Let's see. So can we just... I guess you can just run it. See what happens. Nothing good happens. Config last config date. Let's see, singleton new bot. So here it calls init config, and the singleton. Yeah, so init config is looking for last config update. Yes. Oh yeah, that's. Oh yeah, all of these will not be defined now. Oh, most of them get assigned a value here, but some of them are being used. For example, like in here, to check, well, last config, update time. It also gets assigned a value here. It just doesn't have an initial value. Wait, no? Name last config is not defined here, even though... Oh yeah, this is where I assigned value, okay. Check config, init config. So I guess last config update must have a value assigned somewhere in here, I imagine. Oh, the wrong file. It explains why I don't see it. Last config update time. So it has an initial value. Is it even used here? Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, it's not even needed in the main module. No. I know how to call things. Let's see. Should I place it? Well, it should be here as an internal variable, in my opinion. Time Oh, I want it to be. Well, I guess I don't really care what kind of argument it is. Let's have it underscore it to show that it's to indicate that it's private. It's supposed to be private. So all of these now. Yeah, this will be deleted, so it's no longer global. So we're getting rid of one global variable already. And all of these will be changed to self underscore underscore last config update time. And here, easy. So it checks, and the assignment is not right. Self. Wait, why doesn't it complain that it doesn't? Oh, it was she declared here. It thinks that it's a local variable. Okay, that's why I didn't complain. Right. All good, looks like. Run again. Singleton object has knowledge about config file. Doesn't it? Didn't I add it? Yeah, I didn't assign a value. Wait, init config, didn't it assign a value? Oh yeah, the self config file. And this, well, it doesn't have to return anything now. This is self config file. And now I don't really need to assign a value. Like, this assignment doesn't make sense. Well, it never made sense, but now it's not necessary. Make more sense if these are arranged like that. So Discord Discord methods are here, and this is for singleton. Let's see. Wait, Discord bot ID. This maybe it has to be in this order. I guess intents can be before that, because it uses Discord bot ID, which comes from the configuration. Let's see. Didn't check if the audio volume is correct. Okay. The music isn't, well, doesn't show that music's playing, but it is playing very quietly. Imagine it will get louder and then it's gonna be audible. Right, but now this is configuration initialization, and to be clear, I'm talking about configuration of the application of the configuration bot. Since the bot itself is meant for configuration, it is a little bit, well, could be a bit misleading which configuration I mean, but this configuration is for the bot itself. Like, it has all the translations for the menus, it has the database IP and the credentials it needs. Like, it has everything you would want to set outside of the application. You don't want to be hard-coded into the code itself. So all of that comes from the configuration, and there's quite a bit of it. Like, you can definitely tell it's not a trivial. Well, it's not complicated, but it's not like one line of code. Hey, bot is back. Amalia Danilova, amazing. Don't click that link. Oh yeah, I need to delete these. In case people are not. Let's see, where is the chat? Nova, can I block? Well, this deleted it? Yeah, it did delete it. Right. Back to the code. Let's drink some tea. Now maybe it will run. don't think there are any syntax errors left, or don't remember what's the name of it. Can't remember the term. Okay, name DH is not defined. Oh, it's probably gonna. Okay, DH refers to data handler. I guess the whole logging should be moved to the singleton now. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it could be moved here into the singleton. Most of the things will be default logging setup. So yeah, all of this mess slowly migrates into this file. So this no longer needs to specify that it's calling and this menu. This C logger. Yeah. See, let's move them up before everything. So the constant should be before everything. Let's say constant system std out port system, so it would work. Anything else? Well, I'm sure there's plenty. Ooh. Like me removing one of the logging, so this has to stay. Let's see. So data handler will be added here. Will it? Okay, first of all, let's move this out. Can I move it out? No, the log level has to be set here. Right, and this has to be replaced with, okay, with a different current or menu default log level. Now, what was it? Logging and debug. Have everything set to debug, and this. Can I make it into a constant as well? Will this work? Singleton main. Wait, how do I write these? I think multiple. Yeah, the first letter is. Oh, so the class has first letter capitalized unless it's a constant. Constants have a capital C. Happened. Did my feels like Mozilla crash report. Okay. Okay, let's quit it. I guess it's been running for too long and it's crashed. Okay, I don't think I opened up anything unnecessary. You can stay closed. They are billions, another YouTube video. Okay, the music's back and Twitch monitoring's back. Okay. That wasn't expected. I guess you never expect your browser to just crash. Log. Yeah. Alt logging setup is setup. Let's make it board it a little bit differently. And this we'll use the same syntax. I guess we can move it here as well. So wait, no, it has to be like this. Right. Logger, but this time I have main logger. Okay, constant main logger, and it will be defined here as well. Main logger. Logger. Okay. So this works. This is done the same way. Okay. It's like these no longer are needed. So let's remove it. Run again. See where it crashes now. Complains about logging. Oh yeah, I just removed logging as well. So import logging. Okay. Okay, it almost started. I guess when it starts to access these global variables that don't exist anymore. Bot. So Hikari, new bot. So this is where it crashes. Unauthorized. Unclosed client session. So I guess the bot is currently logged in. Guess when it crashed previously. Gateway bot. Unclosed client session. I'm not sure who is giving this error. Well, it's Hikari's error. I guess the Discord gateway is refusing the connection now. Which is not great. Doesn't really... Okay. So yeah, now the main class is, well, compared to the old spaghetti code, instead of 1000 lines, it's now shrunk to 180 lines, which is much more manageable in my opinion. It also has some weird functions that I don't think should be here. Get user, generate payment ID, stuff like that. I think it mostly should have methods for controlling the flow of the application, or controlling the which part of the application has the control now. So controlling the control, controlling the flow. Right, this is not important at the moment for what we're doing. I'm not sure, maybe well, I guess I need to wait a little bit. See if I get the same error I do. Okay, let's try restarting the Eclipse. This might trigger something if it's being managed by Hikari somehow. Maybe this will well fix it, hopefully. Not, I guess I just need to wait out. I could generate a new token for my bot as well. Let's see. Okay, it says unauthorized, unclosed client session. AI O HTTP. Okay, well, I guess time to Google, or not Google, search what to do with this. So errors, does anyone have any solutions? Oh, if the token is invalid. So the token is invalid. Okay, so my token is no longer valid. Oh, because What? Is it because it doesn't have... Yeah, Discord bot ID is no longer here. Yeah, it's just an empty string now. It should get it from the singleton. Let's see. Discord bot ID. Yeah, I guess that... Well, I guess it's time to move away from these global variables. Discord bot ID. I'm pretty sure that's a string. Let's make val. This is not for testing. Let's see, Discord bot ID. Sure, that's supposed to be a string. Though it's made out of numbers. Sure, is it? No, actually, it is a string. So that's a string. This. So Discord bot ID, so self. And I guess that's it. Wait, doesn't it use a different... Oh yeah, I guess test mode means test mode on this particular bot. Doesn't account for ability to have a different bot. I guess that should be added. Let's see. So if test mode, I want to override this as well. So default test Discord bot ID. Should probably add this to the file itself. Right. Okay, this is done off stream for security purposes. Doesn't really matter. We'll look at the configuration files later on because I will be restructuring them. Unclose client section. Authorized. Unauthorized error. Oh yeah, it didn't change how it which one it uses here. So it should use singleton Discord bot ID. Yeah. Now it should start. Yeah. Hey. It walks. It walks. It lives. Amazing. Let's do a thing. So now it should crash with some other language and so on, other things that are missing. Oh, it's helper class actually that crashes. Okay. Helper is just extremely simplistic, common things I need to do. So I just move them out. Because in all menus I'll need to attach something, like to make something bold, I need to attach this. Well, this is such a... I don't think this is a good way to make... to construct strings. I guess it works, so... I guess it can be helped. Well, I'll get to that eventually. I might change that, how it's done. But for now, let's see. So helper and new bot was calling this. So yeah, and now it starts with handling user messages. Right. Let's see what kind of user global variables we still have. Current menu. Yeah, I guess this guy gets into the thing that current context is not a data class just yet. Right. Well, I will need to implement it as a data class at some point, but I'm not sure if I should do it now or should I focus on finishing this I guess I'll. Well, refactoring this will be a task as is. Okay, let's keep these dumb names so on. User. Well, it used quite a lot. Oh no, it's actually mostly in the comments, but here it is used. Yeah, here it is for context. And why is it in the menu class? Why that variable? I guess I just didn't want to clog up the main. Or is it because it's used here? I think this is why it's here. See, user, I think I use it somewhere around here? I don't. I guess this is how I was supposed to, and what this is where I was going to store all the constants, like, yeah, Discord ID username. So these will eventually be values in the context data class. So instead of having a bunch of labels for dictionaries, well, constants constants for dictionaries, I will yeah, I'll just have a normal class, a data class. So what, I don't really like the terminology. Like, Python's terminology is a bit awkward because when I say data class, it's both means a class. Well, you could interpret that as a general class for storing data, but data class is actually a feature of Discord. Oh, no, Discord, of Python. So yeah, that's why, well, the terminology feels a little bit off. Right. Singleton. So wait, what was the original problem? Oh, this is such a nice song. I love it. Especially as a background music. I have no idea if they're singing words or are they chanting. It doesn't really matter. Right, language, yeah, so whoever called translation. Right, message context, this is fine, and here we start having issues. No, user is actually fine. Current menu, I think that's still fine. Or is it? Yeah, so current menu is still here. So where do we start having issues? So this is get translation message language. Title ID comes, yeah, menu ID plus title. So this is how the translations are named. I think. Don't see any with a name like that. Oh yeah, menu ID. It doesn't have underscore, so it's basically a concatenated string. Okay. I guess I can show this without exposing any of the credentials if I do this. Yeah, for example, for English language, that's how the do not show on stream file looks like, which I'm showing on stream. I should be fine until if I don't scroll up. So yeah, these are the names Language selection list title. So this is what it's constructing there. So this is what it why it is like that. So it takes menu ID. So each menu has a unique ID or a label, something. Well, it doesn't really matter. A unique string. And then it can have a bunch of different labels assigned to that menu, like description title, list title, and so on. Oh yeah, list title I think is the name of the name in list. Oh yeah, that's what I was implementing. So it could have different names. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. So what's the issue? Error English. Why doesn't it work? Like through list. The translation is called by this. Title ID. Wait, no. Oh, name, list, and language. Self message. That's. Wait, what? What does this get called? So it takes language from the list. Oh, messages. It's. This is dumb. This is very dumb. How it's done. Let's see. Okay, let's have singleton as my first. I guess after the variables, you can have, well, not variables, constants. So these are a bunch of different constants, and here, I guess even before logging, I can have singleton. Actually, import from ton. I guess it will make it a little bit confusing because I wanna name. Maybe I should name it sing. Yeah, seems like a good name, and makes it distinct from singleton. Because I wanna call everything singleton now, but oh, there's so many singletons. Okay. Should map properly to this my singleton that I import here. Oh, here. Right. This is so peaceful and calm. I can just write code. This is nice. Been a while since I did this. Right. So yeah, let's change this as well because I don't like it being like this. Sing. Have it like this. Here we will have sing. This sing. Here sing. I made a typo apparently. Ding. Okay. It's to be sing. Alright, easy. So now it has singleton instance. Here. Oh yeah, it doesn't show the correct line. Get translation messages. So messages is the thing that gets loaded. So this messages means not the messages being sent in Discord. This means messages from the configuration file that are loaded by the singleton when it loads configuration. And yeah, so these messages, that's what it tries to access there. So yeah, this is where it gets assigned a value. So all of this is irrelevant. And the type is, I don't remember actually. There is messages. Strings, it looks like is a dictionary? Yeah, it is a dictionary. So let's name it something else. Let's not name messages. Text. Can't really think of a good name. Labels? I think labels is the way to go. It usually, it used to be messages because, it used to make sense because one label, one entry, used to be a full message with everything included. So, for example, when I was loading a field, I would load all of this, including start menu. Everything will be in one field saved with all the new line characters and so on. But since then, it's obviously better to have like a separate entry for its name, for the title, for description, for the list title, and so on. So that's what I did. So now it's more like labels, and it will be a dictionary type labels, and we, instead of having messages, will have labels. Oh yeah, self labels. And now, or was it in menus, I think? Yeah, self messages instead of messages coming from, oh, this is super dumb. It's not even declared anywhere. I just need to know where does messages come from. Why is it in access like this? Like, it feels like it's been declared somewhere else. Seems like it definitely is missing a declaration. Message text. Messages. Oh, so this is the message. Oh, I guess it means that's how you access global scope when you're not in the same package. Well, you are in the same package, but you're not in the same module. So use self instead of having to declare it global. Well, I guess both could work. But this now, we'll go sing messages, sing labels, actually. And it should be fine. Yeah, this is function mapping, so it should be okay. Should probably search for messages. Yeah, this is another instance. So instead of self, let's look how many times it's been referenced. Quite a few. Yeah, it is an important, well, all the messages are based on this. So let's see, can I actually do this? Control find and replace with sing labels. Okay, so we have find. Okay, let's go back. Replace. And then go to the next, replace, that should be replaced, this should be replaced. This, on the other hand, basic setup. Oh, so this is where it comes from. It's not declared. So okay, so when I initialize, okay, that's no longer a thing that's gonna be needed. Okay, I'll address the wait. Yeah, this can be deleted. Now we can find this. Yeah, this will be replaced. This looks like it will be replaced as well. Right. Replace. So everything to do with messages replaced. I wonder if I have anything referring to messages in here. Don't think I do. This is meant for business logic. Well, messages. Oh yeah, so it tries to initialize a menu using messages, but messages is no longer a thing. Yeah, so I had to pass around everywhere so everyone would have access to it. That's what the singleton solves, so that's why it's a good thing. That's why I need it. That's why I'm using it, because all the different modules need to have access to the labels, and I need a centralized way to update them. So for example, if I add a new language, I want to make it so you just add another file with translations and it just starts working. So that would be the perfect way. Good. I think that's how it's done at the moment. Well, that's how it is meant to work. I need to look into language menu, how that was created, because I think that was the idea, to be able not to have a fixed number of languages, just have all the languages. Get item, get text options. Right, so initialization. Menu items. I guess this is another variable that gets initialized in the basic setup. No. Items. Oh, it's initialized here. So I need to go to the toilet again. I should have. Damn, the day has just gone by without me noticing, pretty much. Yeah, well, I guess I'll be back in 5 minutes. For now, what can I show? Guess we can watch one of my older streams. This time I don't really have anything to ponder. Let's see. Can I show? Let's look at my YouTube. Pam, 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 pam. I own. This doesn't open. See what kind of videos I have. Wow, there's a lot of videos. Spaghetti code. Data gatherer. Oh, so this is number 1. Oh yeah, it got yeah, the order is messed up now. Library. Buttons on Discord and so on. Don't really have anything interesting. I can actually maybe one of older bits. Oh, I can show some Minecraft. Oh, better even Albion. Let's watch their defense against PvE. Oh, This is good. This is a good one.
If you're a tank and you spot them, get ready on we're coming out of the Terry now.
Okay. So, okay, be back in 5-6 minutes.
Just get back into same positions.
On Scott is Scott.
Yeah, just
So
don't get on
Scotty
the...
Scotty is right at the south. Oh, they're coming. They're more Scotty Ellis here and this. Okay, over here.
More loot first, guys. Okay, back into same positions first.
It's like POEs.
Back into same positions.
Yeah, POEs is spreading in the south, like the entire front. POEs in the entire front.
East, southeast.
Griffin, you're playing this beetle perfectly here. Keep it up. Okay, tanks get a little bit more back now, guys. Come on. You're just taking free poke here. Just taking free poke.
Bomb squad coming back in, so be careful.
Be careful.
On the southeast.
Fuse on these guys. The tanks, like that are walking in. Do you want?
Sí, tenemos al... Okay, they're pushing. They're pushing. POE pushing.
East ball, careful. East ball.
Locus front. Get ready southeast. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just on the front, guys. Just on the front southeast. Just on the front southeast. Just on the front southeast. Okay. Now back. Now that's enough. That's enough. Now back away. It's fine. We got enough. Gallus. Kill the Gallus. Can we get the Gallus? I'm lagging a little bit. Jesus Christ. Kill this halberd. Okay, get back into same position first. I'm just looking. Don't copy me. Wave smashing pro.
Yeah, waves is pushing.
I'll let them have fun with that one.
Guys, get into it.
What's happening on the west? Why, how does Danny die there, bro? Like, come on.
Stop betting on his wave, bro. Sorry, I have names off.
Turn them on, bro.
What the fuck?
They are pushing. Waves pushing.
I'll take this time to reset Beetle.
Get ready to engage southeast of me, just on these tanks. In fact, no, just chill. No, wrong. My bad. I'm
They
struggling.
continue
with
pushing.
They're all in the choke with their allies, bro. Okay, get ready south, boys. Come south a little bit now, guys. Come south a little bit. Come south to me. Get me on your screen. Come south a
Yo,
little
the bomb squad's east. This moment.
bit. Go straight south in 5. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, just locus this. Locus the front line. And go south in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go south, boys. Go south. In fact, no, east is one instead. Okay, once you hit this, just back away. Once you hit this, back away. Once you've used this close, just back away. Back away. We have a lot of players actually. Okay, back into the same position. Same choke, holding the same choke. On the same choke. It's fine. Just holding the same choke. Start putting Qs down, boys.
Wave pushing.
Why is
Wave
Wave
pushing northeast. Wave pushing.
Why is Wave pushing? That's the question.
There is nothing at the west, Squid. They are leaving to the Alpos.
Don't.
Spanish people full push. Spanish people full.
Okay, get ready northeast, boys. Get ready on we're coming out of the Terry now. We're coming out of the Terry, going northeast. On POE. Coming out of Terry on POE. 5.
This is waves. This is some wave.
No, this is all
Oh,
POE.
wait, this is all POE. Can we hit this on a couple of hits? No, I think the DPS were a little far back. They're still here for a long time.
Cowboys at the east.
Oh. Okay, just locus that one. Okay, go back south. Go back south. Let's stop being greedy. I think we're getting a little bit greedy. Go back into the terror boys.
Paradise northeast. Back to the Terry.
What is this? Why is pizza in the tower? Wait, why is pizza dying on the north? What? Huh? Who is?
Northwest.
Paradise?
Let me put names on.
Just get back into the tower, guys. What is this? This is so goofy. Paradise have 16% Google. How are they already there?
They're coming.
Tell your boys to get back in that position again. East west.
Yeah, standard position. Standard position is good.
They are in position.
Just get back into the choke post. You guys are too far forward. You guys are spoken. I want to bait them in a little bit, you know? DPS can't breach any engagements.
POE, it's full west. POE west. POE
west.
is west, and Paradise is south.
Paradise is southeast to us. Okay.
That's the
Back into
color.
the choke post. Back into the choke post. Back into the choke.
That's the color. They're
Okay.
pushing.
This is a bait. This is a goofy bait. Don't get baited, boys. Don't get baited. Don't get baited. All that was a bait. Just a bait. 2 and W's on these guys. Just keep pushing.
They're pushing the way. They are pushing the wall. The wall.
Space southwise and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage south now, guys. Engage south. Engage south. Engage south. Engage south.
Careful, bomb squad east,
But don't
east
put-
bomb squad. Bomb squad coming up from
Yeah.
southeast.
Back into the turn. Back into the turn. Back into the turn. There's Amon actually. There's Amon. There's Amon. There's Amon. Kill Amon. Kill Amon if you can. We kill
Bomb
Amon.
squad
Kill Amon.
moving in. Bomb squad
Okay.
moving in.
Back away. Back away. Careful on the box. Okay. Back into the turn.
Okay.
We just killed that. We just killed that color.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Fuck you, Amon.
They're pushing wave all the way to the tower.
POE
same side.
pushing west.
Okay, we're going west, boys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're engaging west. We're engaging west. We're deep west. Oh my god. West. Right. Go. West. Smash these guys. I have to whisper. Okay, go into the town now, boys. Okay, just in fact, no, just hold where we're standing. 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 Get ready. Get
Bomb
ready.
squad.
They're all the way northwest. We can actually wrap around them once.
Our friends died.
Get ready southwest.
They
go
Get ready west in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage west. Engage west. Engage west. Engage west. Don't hit rinse though. Don't hit rinse. Try not to hit rinse. Try not to hit rinse. Try not to hit rinse. Okay, back way. Come back into these. By these. Is the color coming in? Why is okay, Peary's on the northeast now. Okay. Get ready northeast, boys. In 5 seconds. In 4. In 3. In 2. In 1. Straight onto the tower. 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 Onto the tower. Onto the tower.
I locus you through. I locus you.
Get onto the tower now, boys. We're brawling for the tower. And they're all down the cliff. Get onto the tower, boys. Get onto the tower. No spread. And get onto the tower, boys. Here they come down the chokes. Look, here the northeast is ally.
Galas.
Here you go. Boys. They're trapped in here. Get ready. Come to the south, north tip of the tower and get ready to bomb them straight north. Oh no, that's allies. They're all ally.
Watch out.
Always getting like decimated here actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of bow in the choke at the north
Yeah,
side.
but there's also a lot of allies in the choke as well. So we do, just let them do their job and let them kill them. There's a boat coming towards them. Just make sure you're not killing allies, because I'm seeing a few guys killing allies. Be careful, guys, please. Please don't kill allies. You just killed another ally there. Do your best. Kill this locust. Jade, you ready to cap here? Can anyone find a PoE and check their default? Anyone? There's some PoE southwest of us. Okay, they have 17% default. Okay. Tell them to resume same positions again, Toto.
Bomb
Our friends are black.
They're mounted southeast, the bomb squad.
Schweizer or
Here coming. PO is here. PO is here and as well as
southwest?
they collect 30 here.
We go
They're
on the
pushing,
south, we go
they're
on
pushing, they're pushing.
So then we go on the west side. We go on the west. We go on the west side. Get ready on the get ready with me. See on your screen. See on your screen. Get ready southwest. Finish up. You get anything? Okay. Nice. We kill all these guys in headers. Careful on that wall, like, guys. Careful on that wall. Guys. Dude, all these guys inside us need to just hold the lines. Just hold them. All these like healers. There's a healers inside of us. Okay? Just Q's and W's on the choke.
Okay, I'm back.
They're just doing one last bit right there. So, okay, get ready, guys. Get ready, guys.
Yeah, I'm here. I was taking a break, a VC break. Let's see. Okay, finally. Well, you must have come into the stream right after I left. So I left something running, so in case people came in. So yeah, it was a little bit of Albion. What I'm actually working on is the refactoring, doing some refactoring. It's probably FK, yeah. Well, hopefully I'm not sure if Night Hunter is still here. If you're here, let me know. I have an interesting idea / suggestion for you. Well, it's for him. Okay, you're here. So, I have an idea that I pitched to Risk yesterday, and he seemed to be, well, he seemed to like it. So maybe you will like it as well. Since I'm doing these coding streams, and from time to time, like, well, you guys are kind of interested in writing, well, becoming, well, wetting your toes, becoming a developers. Try playing Fall Guys sometimes when you wanna take a break. Well, I wasn't taking a break. I needed to go to the toilet, so you know that's why I put some. I felt like I want to put something on. It wasn't like I was exhausted from coding. Like I barely started. Well, I've done a decent amount, but yeah, it wasn't like taking a break for the sake of taking a break. But the idea I was pitching that to Risk is, well, since I'm doing like episodes introducing like concepts, like well, for example, yesterday's stream I explained singletons, and the whole stream was basically figuring out how to actually implement a singleton and how to make it work, like looking at definitions, different ideas people have about singletons using Python as well. Well, it basically was almost like a lecture, but instead of me lecturing things, I was studying myself, like searching resources online and so on. So if you don't really know how to search, how to recognize what is a quality research, quality source or not, like maybe those videos would be useful to those people, but that's beside the point. They introduce like important concepts for making like a finished software solution. So writing an application, like one of those was another example, a very nice example, I think, is data classes. Because I didn't know what data classes were before I started investigating this new library I was incorporating. Let's see, where is it? Data classes. Oh yeah, there it is. So user. So this is a data class, and I did another stream. Another stream is whole stream just dedicated to data classes, and like this is the result of the whole stream. It isn't much, but like it has quite a lot of theory explained there, and I go through. Well, it's not that I am explaining it. Well, I am explaining it eventually when I understand it, but the whole process of me figuring out what it is also there. Right. So keeping that in mind, since I'm slowly introducing like basic concepts needed for developing software, I thought maybe I should think about making a community. Like there is a concept also called peer programming. So it means you don't actually program by yourself like I am. Well, I'm not exactly alone, but it's pretty much the same as if I was alone, except I'm speaking to you guys. But the peer programming was I'm not sure it's actually still, well, from time to time I hear people using it, but usually it's not because of because they want to, because the circumstances demand that sort of development. But the idea is that multiple people are actually writing the same code. And how that works usually is one of them is writing, the other one is monitoring, and well, I guess you both could be writing at the same time. Like one could be writing one set of things, the other one could be doing the same. But the idea is you're writing the same code, not just working on the same application on different parts, because usually the development team has like everyone who's working on the project has its own responsibilities, and they're working on their own parts. And so one has to implement one feature, the other one has to implement another feature, and so on. So peer programming isn't like that. It actually, you're both working on the same task, trying to do the same thing, and you're writing the same code. So benefits of that is it's a lot better, a lot easier to transfer knowledge that way, because the more knowledgeable developer will immediately tell you what you're doing wrong and what you need to improve. Well, with streaming, obviously that's not really possible, but we could do something like it, where I can host a project on GitHub, make a whole stream figuring out how to use GitHub, where I will create a project which will be public, like any other open source project, and we'll figure out what kind of project we want to work on, and then you would be able to take that code that's written there using Git. Like Git is for, oh, if you don't know what Git, I guess I'll have to make a stream on Git. But Git is basically for controlling the source code, like for managing source code between multiple people. So that's how people who are working on an application, the whole team, can have the latest versions of the software. So they don't have to send each other updates and so on. So they just have a centralized place called Git repository, where the source code, well, the Git is an application that keeps track of all the changes everyone makes. So GitHub is a website that has Git running underneath it, but on top of Git it has the nice web page look. So I actually I looked through some source code. Yeah, so this is how you can actually look through the code. Like Discord bot is some project, and let's see, I think this is the example I was looking through. Yeah, let's look at the Hikari library. That's because I don't want to lose track of this in case I need to look something up afterwards, because I'm not really sure how to find it. It was just linked to me. Right. So I could make a project like this, and you guys would be able to take the source. You have history to find it. Oh yeah, that is true. Well, you know, at this point my history probably is okay, I don't wanna. This is this was a flashbang, but okay, wasn't intentional. Yeah, I could bookmark it, but it's not that necessary. I will need it like once, if ever. So yeah, otherwise I think it's gonna be fine. So I just don't want to close that tab just yet. But that's not really important. Right. So I can make a project like this, and people like for you guys, we can decide what kind of application we want to make. Then I can design it like with like during the stream we can design what kind of application we want, and then from that design we can produce like requirements, what kind of classes we need, what kind of code we need, and so on. And you guys would be able to actually write and contribute to that project that way. So for one, well, what's the benefit for you? You might ask. If you want to be a developer eventually, it probably will be, well, most likely it will be very beneficial for you to show that you have some sort of experience. Like, this is a good way to get some experience coding, especially if the project gets finished and well, reaches the state where it's actually usable and you can send it to people to use, and if it's good enough, people will like it. But working on a finished project, especially an open source project and so on, it's a very big plus when you're applying for a job. So you would be able to show in your interview or say, I guess if they want proof, you can actually show them the repository and the history, what you actually worked on, and so on. So I think that would be like a next step from just watching and like not just expressing your interest in programming with just watching a stream, but actually trying to put those the things you learn into like something concrete. And I think, well, you could do it alone by yourself as well, but I think it's a little bit well, for example, if you want to make an application, like you're talking about like this kind of like, this is a minimal application, like this is like a bot on Discord that has a couple of menus and that's it, and for that you need that much code. Like, this is becoming a complex project at this point. Like, it's not huge by any means, but it's definitely not something a beginner would be able to make right off the bat. So it would be an easier it would be a way to lower the barrier entry barrier to becoming a new developer, a beginner, maybe not not just as well. It will be mostly still self-learning. Well, I guess I would be teaching the concepts that are needed in the streams, and people would have, like, I would be able to watch like review your code, give feedback, and you would be able to work on whatever you like. If and you would know that your code is not just wasted. It's not just a hello world that's like never that doesn't have any purpose. So what do you think of that? How does that sound? Does that sound something you would be interested in, Night Hunter? Because if you're interested in programming, it seems like I'm fine with it. Oh. When are you going to implement? Yes, interested. Okay, so when I'm going to implement it, soon. I just need to. Well, I'm not gonna be finishing this project before that, of course. I think I'll. Well, if enough people are interested, like, I think if you and Risk both are interested, I think I can just do it as soon as possible. Probably next stream then would be dedicated. Well, next stream would mean tomorrow morning. Yeah, I guess tomorrow morning I would be looking through GitHub, trying to figure out all the features. Well, not all, like figuring out how to, because I used GitHub once when I was studying for one of my projects that I needed to make to get the degree, and they wanted it to be published in somewhere, so I published on GitHub. But I haven't really used it since. Any sneak peek? Sneak peek to what? This is just a concept I'm thinking about. But yeah, the other thing. Oh yeah, forgot. Okay, I can't I can't do it. Well, I guess I can create the repository soon next stream. Yeah, the project. That's the question I I kind of forgot about until now, because it is kind of important what kind of project it is. Like I don't really have any preference. I don't think it really matters all that much. If you have any good suggestions or something you would like to see made, you can give that suggestion. Otherwise, and yeah, that would be a good source for the stream. So for example, we decide of what kind of project we want. Oh, I have a pitch. I have one idea that could be interesting. Like Risk thought it was interesting as well. So, but I guess I can talk about the idea first. So what I would suggest, like as a project, maybe I think making a VPN could be an interesting idea, because VPNs are quite popular, and even though I myself don't use them, because I don't really see much point. Well, I'm like, if you understand how they work, it's well, okay. I don't claim to understand all the details how VPN works, but I understand the principles. So the VPN basically encrypts your traffic and sends it through like an exit node where your traffic gets sent to your original destination from. So the recipient doesn't really know where it came from. It sees the IP address of the node where it exited, and the node that exited doesn't really see the data because, well, in between the data is encrypted, but forward, if like you're using HTTPS or something, like usually you're opening a web page, which most like 99% of the web pages you're visiting should have HTTPS. Well, pretty much. Well, not what I'd say 100%. Like you shouldn't be visiting websites that don't have HTTPS enabled. So though that traffic is also encrypted as well. So the end node doesn't really know, like, so the application isn't that complex in my opinion to implement. It shouldn't be that complicated. Like it is, it might seem a bit daunting, but for the most part the principles are quite simple, and not sure how well. I guess we would figure out along the way how hard it actually is. But as a twist, like, well, there are a bunch of VPNs as it is, like making another one like doesn't really make much difference. As a twist, we could incorporate I don't want to say blockchains per se, but some sort of token system where you earn tokens for participating in the VPN, and you pay tokens to use the VPN. So if you run a client, like it wouldn't be like a standard service like NordVPN or any other VPNs that are currently available. In a sense that it would be a community based. So community, like, it will be open source because the whole source is public. So it will be, so as one feature it is open source. Another feature would be that it's run by the community. So anyone who wants to participate as a destination, an exit node, could just download the software, connect to the network, and that's it. And he would start earning tokens or cryptocurrencies or whatever for the traffic they service. Because, well, you know, someone has to, like, it's not free. So, isn't it like the gray zone? What do you mean the gray zone? Gray zone in what sense? Or do you mean there's a project called Gray Zone? It could be that there is a project like that already. It's totally possible. Half illegal? Why would it be illegal? Yeah, like there's nothing illegal about it. At least as far as I know. like we're just providing service to encrypt. Like it doesn't. Well, legality comes from what you actually do on the internet, but as a user, like using a VPN. VPN is not. Oh, I guess you're. Like if okay. So VPN doesn't anonymize you on the internet in any way. Like there's no you shouldn't think of that. Like exit nodes. So let's say since it's run by the community, it doesn't mean like we don't have a way to say that we don't want a certain person running an exit node. If people want to connect to him and are willing to pay the fees, like they will be able to participate in the network. And for example, like your government could be running quite a lot, majority of it. Like for example, Tor network. Tor is like a private network that operates somewhat like VPN. Like it has the similar structure. But you know, it is an open secret that most of Tor exit nodes are run by federal agencies. And that's how people keep track of, like authorities keep track of malicious activities on the dark web. So it's not like we are providing a service for criminals. Like no, we are basically the VPN. What it actually does, like the functionality does, it makes you harder to track online for advertisers. Pretty much, that's it for advertisers, and it makes it impossible, pretty much, to monitor your traffic for your internet provider. So you will be hiding information from your internet provider and advertisers on the internet. Like you shouldn't be like you. Well, yeah, there are certain region-locked content, like some providers, like YouTube. What's Netflix, other like they have limitations based on what region you come from, so you can circumvent that using VPN, but as a side product, pretty much. But the main use case would well, for some people maybe it is the main benefit of a VPN, but mostly it just hides your activities from your internet provider. From what I understand, people gain tokens from sharing connection. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it would have a way, because like it costs. Well, it's not free to run to have an internet connection. If you like, no one will want to run the nodes otherwise. And if you want to rent service, well, the service will cost, and service will charge you for traffic as well. So it would be like a built-in way for people to earn tokens, and yeah, that's magnificent. But how could us two noobs make that? Well, we are here to find out. Because well, that's like just one idea. I don't say that. Well, I'm not saying it has to be this. It's just a project I thought of like on the spot when I thought that it would be cool to do like a collaboration project with my viewers that are interested in programming, and yeah, this is just the first project that came into mind. So we can do anything else, and maybe at some point, while doing research for implementing VPN, maybe we will figure out that okay, it's not actually viable. Maybe it's impossible for one reason or another, and we will have to switch to something else. So I'm completely open to other ideas. If you have an idea, what would you like to implement, and what kind of software you would like to be made? Like, think of something you would like to use yourself. Like, that's a very good example, in my opinion. I was thinking about what could be useful for the internet overall, because I think people like, yeah, I was thinking globally, but yeah, for a good source of ideas is on what to make, I think would be what I would like to use, and I can't reasonably well, I don't have reasonable access to already. I guess Nubatron. Okay. Right. What else I was going to say? I don't remember. Oh, I had an idea to come back to. Now I'm struggling to remember what I was talking before the idea. Right. So that would be oh yeah. So the benefit, like all of that would be leading. Right. Well, I'm ignoring you because you're speaking Lithuanian. I don't really care. Right. So how I would see this process going forward is when we decide on a project and then we start doing, I would mostly do all the research. I would design attempt to design, or, well, there are some knowledgeable people that come to my stream as well. So they could definitely give additional input on the design and features and so on that I might not think of, but I think I would be able to design an application, like a base application that we can start on, and yeah, during that process I would come into like I would dedicate each stream to maybe one theme, one idea, figuring out one idea, and slowly moving forward until we get a full picture what is needed, how to do it, and so on. And then people who are interested in writing some code, can join in and contribute. I think that's the vision I have, and yeah. This is the second time me giving this pitch, so it's not really fully flushed out. I probably should write a script to pitch this to the new, because okay, now there is only 2 of you, but eventually if enough people are interested, like if we I guess when we start making progress, actually committing code, reviewing it, and so on, I think the interest could I think there are a lot of people who are interested in programming, but don't really know where to start or where to look, because it is quite a broad field and it's not that easy to pick up and just start. Like it is the best way, like as a developer, like working in the field for a long time, I would still say that it is the best way, but it's not that easy when you don't really know anything. You just know you want to try it, you want to see how it looks, and like watching my streams, it's fine, but like it doesn't really help you all that much. Well, it is helpful if you retain the concepts I'm talking about, but yeah, I think that's that's all I have for that pitch. So any questions? Maybe you have ideas what kind of project I should be implementing. Like we can discuss that, because I like the VPN idea, mostly because it involves crypto, and we could it has a lot of potential. That's why I like that idea, but it doesn't have to be something this big. I'm a man without ideas. Well, well, as long as you're interested in participating, like, it doesn't really matter all that much. I'm sure you'll come up with something along the way that, well, you'll contribute something idea-wise. Because it might seem like it's... yeah, I wouldn't discount that. Well, I wouldn't discount you just because you can't come up with an idea on the spot, but you can think about it. Maybe something will, you know, an idea will come to you like in an unexpected moment. I should make a Discord server. Well, I have a Discord server. What? Dedicated to the project with viewers. I guess, yeah, that is true. I could do that. Yeah, that is a good point. I guess that will come after I make the GitHub repository, because yeah, this could be like a good place to have all the references. Like, if you want to know what this project is about, watch this. If you want to know how to participate, watch this. If you don't know anything about programming, this is a playlist for you to get introduced to the concepts we use, and so on. So yeah, the Discord like that could be really useful. Yeah, I definitely see a purpose for that. Yeah, that is a really good point. I didn't really think of it before, but yeah, it's... Well, I'll make it after I make the repository. Let's make that first, so people can actually connect and start. Well, at first maybe. Actually, maybe the Discord server should come first. So we would have a discussion where we could post our ideas and discuss what kind of project we would like to work on. Because it's fully up to us. Like, like we are at the position, like, since this is like, you're fine with VPN, yeah, I'm fine with VPN as well, and Risk is probably fine with that as well. He liked the idea. I guess we'll see when I actually start investigating the viability of it. I guess I'll do the initial. Maybe I should have done it before I pitched the idea. I should have done some a tiny bit of research what kind of technologies we need to use, because I don't really want to learn a whole new language just for this. Right. Okay, I'm trying to think of what I was. What else do I need to say? And I don't. Yeah, I can't really think of anything. So yeah, well, I should have done some research and seen what will be required. So how high your cryptography knowledge is? Well, yeah, it's hard to say. Well, it's not zero. I know I have some exposure with cryptocurrencies. I haven't actually written any cryptocurrency things, so yeah, that would be a task to investigate how to actually implement something like this for our use case, because yeah, so well, I kind of thought about it. I don't think it's completely unreasonable to have some sort of well. So basically, the proof of so we need a robust way to validate that someone actually serviced some traffic or X amount of traffic to reward them with tokens. So that's the hard part about cryptocurrencies. Well, it doesn't have to. Well, well, I guess whatever it ends up being, we need to call it cryptocurrency because it is, it is a technology that's very hyped up. Everyone knows it. Everyone saw it on the news. Like everyone knows about cryptos these days. Like there's no one who hasn't heard about cryptos and Bitcoin. Like even grandpas saw it on the news. And so on. So I guess we have to call it cryptocurrency, but very specific cryptocurrency, which is, but well, why it has to be like a cryptocurrency is, yeah, I guess it will have to have two parts. One part is for actually I guess it would be funny if eventually no one will be using it as a VPN. It would be people would be eventually just using it as a normal cryptocurrency. But I guess that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Well, it is. Anything could happen, I guess. But yeah, it would have like two components, and yeah, it will just accept payments. Maybe it could be a separate thing. Maybe we could incorporate like another cryptocurrency. We just accept a certain type of cryptocurrency as payment. That's it. It would be interesting to see the results. Well, the results I think would depend on the implementation. If the VPN is actually good and worth using, I think yeah we would see results. Oh, I don't see why we wouldn't see results. Because, well, in the worst case, no one uses it and it's like a dead open source project. So, you know, we're not really risking all that much. Like, a little bit of time. In the worst case, you have something to show when you go for an interview. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm a quick," like, because when you're applying for a job, like a junior developer, and they ask you what's your experience, like, "Oh, we did this exercise in university. Oh, I read this online. Oh, I did this. Like I played around with this at home. Oh, but I'm a quick learner." And then they will start asking you about certain technologies and frameworks, and you just, "Oh no, I can learn very quickly," and so on. Like that's how it usually goes. Well, from my experience. Well, yeah. So, well, in the worst case, you would have something to show, something concrete. I've worked on this project. I have written, like, used these technologies to implement it, and so on. So, it's not really a bad deal, in my opinion. And the best case, yeah, it gets big, and we would be the core developers at that point, who will be, well, the founders, quote unquote, of the project. So, yeah. And if, since it involves cryptocurrencies, we would be the early adopters. So if eventually it gets big, we would get material benefits from getting on it early, I guess. Well, I don't really want to structure it in a way where like it's like Bitcoin, where it has like diminishing generation, where it generates a certain amount and that's it. So well, I guess when we get to the cryptocurrency point, we can discuss that. But the thing is that it has to be exchangeable using other cryptocurrencies. Like it has to be, well, there are lots of services that exchange one cryptocurrency for another. So yeah, if you are able to acquire this our cryptocurrency or token to use on the VPN that way, I think that's completely fine. I think it's a reasonable way for users to pay for the bot. Well, not the bot, pay for the VPN. And it's since it's open source, it automatically has a certain amount of trust associated with it. Yeah. And also, if since it's open source, someone else can take it and start their own network. That would be interesting. So, well, we would be maintaining the mainnet in that case. But yeah, so that's what I talk about potential. Like, there is a lot of potential for application like that. And in the worst case, like, yeah, it's you have something to show. And you have actual experience writing something that's actually used somewhere. So, you know, if it ends up working, because it's, you know, all applications are like written like one line of code at a time. Well, unless you copy paste maybe. Well, you're not writing it then. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's the whole pitch. Took me like, what, half an hour to say everything? Oh, I talk a lot, way too much. I need to remember what I was doing here. Helper menu, oh yeah. Labels. Implementing labels. So if you have any questions, feel free. I think it is a solid idea. I also gives you like a purpose to streaming. So because I feel like, well, I don't really feel like just streaming, writing code is all that interesting or beneficial. But I really liked the investigations, like the streams, even though people are not really all that interested when I'm reading through documentation and analyzing, like, oh, I don't remember what immutable stands for, and I mixed up immutable and mutable with nullable, and I went on and checked up on it, so made sure, well, and realized that, yeah, immutable is completely different things, mutable and immutable with and nullable. So, but you know, it is part of the process. I enjoy it, and I think I would like to do more of streams like that, because well, for myself, I guess it's much more fun for me to learn something new. It's sometimes fun to just write code, like I'm doing today. Today is just basically I moved a bunch of code out of this class into my singleton that I created yesterday, and now I'm just making it work again. And after that, yeah, tomorrow. Oh yeah, I guess I need to. Oh, I have so many, making too many plans. I guess. Die now. Okay. Okay, so have a nice dinner. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll just continue with the code. Let's see. That formatter, and now it has another exception. Singleton. It's likely due to circle imports. What? Initialize module menu. Oh, I'm in the. Oh, so menu is importing. How do I solve this? Maybe I have to have all the constants here? So I wouldn't have to import menu? Because I don't think I use menu anywhere. Yeah, I shouldn't be using menu anywhere. In singleton. Menu uses singleton, not singleton uses menu. So let's see. Singleton. Constant. Let's see, singleton logger. So this will be replaced with singleton logger. Maybe I could change it in some other way as well. Yeah, both of these have to be changed. Actually, this one should probably be the main logger. And this will be changed. Where's the menu? Menu logger. So I'll move this out. Singleton with other constants, loggers. See menu logger. This here. And this, no, only the main logger, menu logger, and singleton logger. 3 loggers that have the same, well, data handler. Right. And now, oh yeah, the menu needs to be changed because it doesn't use same. Okay. Oh yeah, the logger now comes from sing. Sing menu. It doesn't give me any. Oh, it is a constant in the package. So I do singleton, and here see menu logger. Sure, I like this. Do this singleton. just to make it a little bit cleaner, so I wouldn't have to do this singleton import. I thought it would be cool that I could initiate it like this without calling singleton, but if I'm using constants from there as well, might as well have them both same way, just for consistency's sake. I think I do the same here. Yeah, have it like this. Done. Okay. No typos this time. Yeah. Okay, now we can try running it. Wait, oh yeah, it's not supposed to crash until I send something here. What? Did it not crash? Oh yeah, it actually didn't crash. That's odd. Well, I didn't expect it not. Well, I expected it to crash because it still has a bunch of public, not public, global variables. Is it? Yeah, all of this garbage nonsense. Right, data handler is actually. Oof. I guess I have to keep it this way. Why? So I get the log. Oh. Maybe I should abstract this, encapsulate this into a method. No, actually, supposed to. Yeah, the issue is that this setup, well, if I want to make it, well, the originally, well, since it loads this, does it actually load it does. It has the level, log level. Data handler, let's see how it's used. So it removes the handler and adds the handler. And here all of the loggers, different loggers have it. And this only removes it from log, which is the main. I guess I need to change it a little bit. So yeah, this doesn't happen here. Yeah, because I want all of them to be managed in the same place, so I wouldn't have to modify it in different classes. So to do that, I think I'll just remove this and move it to the singleton where, since it does it here. So it creates the same data handler that uses the same format that adds to all of the loggers. Yes, that's why people use libraries like Log4j. Yeah, I guess it automates certain aspects of this. I don't see not a big issue to solve this. Like it's a problem you solve once, and yeah, after that it's fine. Get logger. Yeah, after that you just use the same solution. Like it can be annoying if you have a lot of projects you need to maintain. But I still kind of enjoy doing it myself. And then I don't need to rely on any third-party libraries, which is added benefit, in my opinion. I love how the bot never used to come offline and now doesn't come online when I'm running this code. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Is that an issue with Hikari library? Doesn't really log in and log off consistently? It seems like it might be. Right, and to set the level, I set the level for this logger. And this is how I do it. Oh, I get the same what? Built on logger. Why? Oh, I add its handler here. Do it like this. Log. Oh, I have the log. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of code. Oh, there already is a lot of code related to loggers. Well, to logging in general. Take a look at this, like, yeah, there's a decent amount. Not everything. Well, most of this is just log entries, I guess. Debug. So this is the remove. Is it? Oh, so it checks if. Okay. Log level. Okay. Rotating file handler. So if file oh, so this is how it enables file logs here. That's why file logs look so sparse now. If I open the log file, it only has output from one logger, which is, well, the main logger. At this point it has singleton logger. Oh yeah, because singleton is the one who actually parses the file, so the singleton's logging is gets sent to the file. All the other loggers are not set up for that. Well, their output is only to console. And it's because of this. Yeah, I guess I can to fix that. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of boilerplate code. Let's see how much of abomination it ends up being. I imagine quite a bit. Well, potentially. I run this again. The hello thing. The message. Now take a look at the logs. This is another application I just like using for logging. Actually, singleton is the only one. Singleton logger is the only one logging. Action. So if I hit, oh, so it just logs a couple of lines. I can config. Oh, I think it's because okay, I add file handler here. Oh yeah, this is the wrong file handler. I have to add a file handler here. Yeah. So all of this should be moved. See, file handler gets defined here. So it sets the formatter. Oh, so this is the formatter. I have defined beginning. So formatter just basically, yeah, it's a string. Well, this is one format that I'm not sure. Fine, maybe. And this is my format. I prefer. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember now. How many characters can I reasonably need to assign to this? Let's see, it's 4, 5. 5 again. 15, 16. Let's see, so it's 6 characters at the end of any file name, let's see. So this is a pretty long, and on top of that it'll need 6, so maybe 20. It's gonna be quite a lot, because the timestamp is 23, so another 20 will be something like this, and then the rest will go. I need the logger, I guess. Level name. Yes, menu single. Well, it already has the name of the class, so I guess I don't really need the name. So yeah, if I don't have this singleton, well, it is a bit redundant. Well, I got the idea from this logger that came from Hikari. Like it adds its own flavor. And yeah, and it looks like it only logs to console, so that's fine, because I won't be using console logs anyways. Well, eventually when the application will be running. Welcome back. When the application will be running, it will be logging only into the files. Right? So yeah, this is not necessary. I shouldn't have changed it in the first place. And here the file handler. So this is where it adds to the main log. So let's do it like this. So now the result should be when I run this. Yeah, all the classes. Yeah, so the format has changed. Now it doesn't really say the format, like the logger's name anymore, which is fine. Like it has the name of the package, or the not the package. What's the? I was so proud about knowing all the Python terminology, and I'm forgetting it already. Module, right? So this is the name of the module, and it's since I have loggers for each module, so it is a bit redundant to have singleton logger and then say it's in singleton. Right. Yeah, but this is fine. So because that's how actually I will monitor the logs. Yeah. So this is perfect. Perfect. I guess I can. It would probably be better to have only info logs enabled for files. So let's see. Singleton, where do I actually create it? So file handler is used here, and okay, log level, set log level. So file handler sets the level. Okay, so the handler has the level. Okay, that's. So I have it set in the file. Oh yeah. No, file log is set to info. Oh, I have a test file log. File. Test mode, test Discord, test file log. Okay, let's make it info as well. So I have two values. If the application is running in test mode, then it uses one value, and the normal application will be using another value. But I kind of want to run it in info now. I have, was it? Oh, I'm running the wrong file. I have the debug in the console, so might as well have info just here in in the log file itself. Okay, well, it's not really the point. The point is to get rid of these global variables, as many as possible. Let's see. Just delete all of this and see how much red happens. I guess not much. It all thinks I'm accessing. Okay, let's keep them then and go one by one and update them. So when it goes to data handler, it has to go to this one. I think it has to be declared global in this case. Does it? I don't really create it anywhere, so I guess it's the only place it gets initialized, it's here. I use it immediately. Add to the handler. Maybe I should move everything into this update method, make it even longer. Okay, let's ignore logging for now. Like, these are the actual values. Wait, it's not even used? Delay, okay, I don't. Okay, this value is not needed, apparently. This is just once here. Database port as backup is 3306. And it assigns it to the helper. Oh yeah, helper needs to know about it. Why do I have to? Why is it this? Wait, I'm seeing it wrong. Because in this case, it's also not needed. Oh, maybe the database used to need this at some point. So yeah, this is needed, as well as the user, I imagine. Yeah, it's parses the configuration file. Yeah, password. Yeah, it's still database things. I'm looking at the source code of some VPNs on GitHub. Oh, okay. And what do you see? I imagine they look quite complicated. Game. And this is not needed. Set. Okay, this also gets assigned to the helper. 96% is C code. Well, C is. We could use a library, I guess. We could borrow some of the C code. I'm not really fancy. Well, I don't really want to code in C. C is quite low-level language, very technical, and I doubt you want to be like anyone will be looking for your C skills when applying to a job. But so we could because other languages have features where you can use libraries from other languages. So Python can actually incorporate code written in other languages, like C, for example. The downside with C is that C is not cross-platform. So you need, for a different operating system, you will need a compiled C library which was written in C or C++. You will need a different binary compiled for a different operating system. So that's the only downside I can think of. But otherwise, it's fine. Like, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Right, trial days. So this is the first value that actually used anywhere. Now the question is, oh yeah, I guess it will be used when I'm setting up. Oh yeah, new bot menu, bots language. Yeah, menus bots. This I think I have a kill bot. Oh yeah, this is general bots. So expiration date. You were surprised about what? That it uses C? Well, C is a very popular language for making low. Yeah, about C being used, not C++. Well, the name is, even though it seems like, well, even though the names are very similar, like they're very far apart, like C and C++. It just when I guess when the C++ was being developed or was originally created, yeah, C++ is object-oriented, yeah, that is true. And C is lower level, like they are not even on the same abstraction level. Like you can't really compare them. So they are that different. Like it's like C is close. Like C is above assembly language. So assembly is basically the lowest level language you can get. Like this is the lowest level, meaning it's closest to the hardware itself. Because in assembly you actually operate with well, the functions and methods. Like your language is defined by the process architecture itself. So that's where you operate with well, where the commands. Well, when you're coding in assembly, you're actually coding in the language that's supported by that processor. So whatever functions processor supports, that's what you use. You can use in assembly. And yeah, and you get issues like different, well, since different processes are from different generations and so on, they have different features. Then when you code in assembly, you need to take that into account. You need to check the availability of certain commands. So that's why certain applications don't, well, or libraries don't really work all that well on certain hardware. Like if the processor doesn't have a certain feature, well, usually it relates to high computational loads where the GPU would be one example, like generating computer graphics. Cryptography is another. Like certain types. Oh, one really one case that is very common is for encrypting and decrypting streams of video. So modern processors, like it seems like running a video is such an easy task, but it only works so smoothly, and you can run high definition video so easily because the hardware has special features built in over time to support that. So if you try to open a YouTube video like 1080p or even 720p on old PCs, like they would not function. You would see slideshows. You wouldn't get an actual video playing. Even though the software supports it, the hardware is missing the features for quick decoding of video. I don't remember where I started to do this. I got. So yeah, so C is above that, above assembly language, and C++ is on a higher level as well. So C++ can be kind of compared to languages. Well, C++ is kind of separate in a sense that it's not like Objective-C or C# or Java. It is a little bit different from other object-oriented languages. because it's also language specific, it still compiles into like C compatible code. So it compiles in a similar way like C does into a binary, but other languages like Java, for example, for sure, it has its own runtime. So, well, you know, Java Virtual Machine, JVM, Java, you need to have Java to run Java applications. So that's what actually runs that code. So that's why it is even higher level of abstraction, because when you code in Java, you don't have to take into account what kind of operating system you're running on. You don't even, well, not that, like in assembly, you need to take into account what kind of processor you're running. But in C++, you need to take into account what kind of operating system you're running on. And in Java, you don't even need to take into account that. So, because your code is run on a Java virtual machine, which is running well, there are different versions for different operating systems. So you don't have to deal with that as a developer. And Python is kind of like that, but it doesn't even get compiled into anything, because Java, it gets compiled into what's called bytecode, which can, well, it's not human readable. You can decompile it into something readable, but when it's compiled into bytecode, you can't really. Well, it's just like a binary file from C++, like it's not really readable. Yeah. And Python, yeah, it's about that, and it doesn't get compiled into anything. Like you get some artifacts made in the process, but for the most part, it is an interpreted language. It's not a compiled language. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm at least 90% sure that that's all of that was correct. Some details might have been like inaccurate, but the idea is correct. But it's just for general context, like it's for general knowledge. It doesn't really matter the details, in my opinion, at least. Right. So trial days. Okay, I see it assigned, but I don't see it used anywhere here, at least. Oh, yeah, okay, that's... Now I remember where I was at. Trial days, and it gets get integer. Oh, it is an integer. Okay, let's have an integer. Trial days. Copy it. No, I didn't. Trial days. Clear it here. Trial days. Integer. Delete it. I love how Control D is to delete a line, and I constantly, when I'm trying to hit Control S to save a file, I hit Control D. So that's what's happening here. If let's see, so this now goes to self as well, and all the way to self. Trial days. So I guess this will be used when creating the bots. How many trial days they will have. So this can be deleted, and test mode. Test mode will show if application is actually running in test mode or not. So it is a boolean. Yeah, config get boolean. So trial mode is bool. Let's see, test mode is red. I guess it's assigned to this, exposed through the singleton, only because some parts of application might want to know if it's running in test mode or not. It's not just for this, well, it mostly, well, currently it's only used to decide which fields to load from the configuration file. But otherwise, it's fine. Like this. I think I was supposed to rework all of this logging, not logging, the configuration management. And I didn't actually do that. Oh, really an issue, in my opinion. Self-test mode. With self-test mode, load this instead of this, and check it somewhere else. Seemed like one line is enough. If in log std out. Oh yeah, here it is. That will log into the file, well, everywhere I guess. It is running a test mode. I think it does now. Yeah. Does it now? Log file. How does it log? It logs languages that it finds. Yeah. Oh. So my current implementation is okay. Let's switch this around a little bit, because I don't really like how it's done. I need to simplify all of this mess somehow, make it more readable, understandable, and maintainable. And to do that, I think I will create some more configuration files. Maybe I should put them all, yeah, I guess I will put them into a separate folder. Yeah, let's make a folder named config. And in this folder, I will have, do I want to have a separate folder? I guess I do. Well, so what I'm thinking is to have a separate file for different languages. So since I support, how should I do this? Should be the name of the file. I guess it's just a shorthand for the language. That's fine. So let's say en ext. No, config cfg. Well, config file is just a text file. So now, and this is another. This is Russian, right? So I'll take this. Basically, I'm copying data from do not show this on stream config file into a separate config file. So this used to be, well, I guess now it's it's becoming self-evident why I am doing this. Oh, this has an old style as well, because that's how messages used to be. So this is part of old configuration. Well, I guess it's gonna be a bit of a pain to modify it when I come to it, but let's make a file for each language now. .cfg. Have the Russian translation. Yeah, this one will be a little bit shorter because it doesn't have the new lines, the new definitions. It only has the old ones that are used by the spaghetti version of the bot. But you know Russian? I know Russian, yeah. If you want, I can read some Russian. Установить название конфигурации. Пожалуйста, введите имя конфигурации. So, well, I know Russian, yeah. You're pulling out translator. It's not a translator. No. This is well, since I'm editing, like this whole application is my bot. So basically, this is what it's based on. I started working like I got to this structure, all of these files, from this spaghetti code in main.py. So it's like this spaghetti is 1000 lines long. And it reads, like it doesn't have any translations. So when you interact with the bot, like you send a message and like you have 4 languages supported. So that's where the language support comes from. Like I need to know like what's how those names, how all of these menus are named in what was Spanish. So if I go to create new bot, and right, so okay, so I can choose, let's say, killbot, and everything is written in Spanish. So that's where all these values come from. I guess this is cancel. So if I pick Russian, let's see, oh no, not English. Russian was second. So if I pick Russian, so the start menu is all in Russian now. So that comes, well, this is where it comes from. So that's what it says. So this is how it was implemented in the spaghetti code. Like this one variable, let's see if I can find it. Quite let's see. Oh, I guess it just reads all of them and puts them into a dictionary. Config file is just a convenient naming. Like it just, the .cfg doesn't really mean anything. It's just there for convenience sake for the editor. So basically, when you're opening a file, like it needs to decide what kind of editor to use for that file. And most, well, Eclipse at least, it uses the extension to decide that. So this is a config editor, which is, well, for this, basically config file doesn't mean anything. It's just a text file, and that's it. It could be a named txt. It's just there for convenience sake, to make it more obvious that this has configuration of some sort. So yeah, that's it. And otherwise it's nothing special. It has nothing special about it. How do you pull out data from CFG, or do you even pull out? Yeah, I do. There's a separate library. Well, if you notice, it is formatted in a specific way. Like it has brackets here and here, like and all of the values. Well, you have a name. Oh, this actually is the wrong name. You can't have capital letters. So this, if I try to load this name from this configuration file using the Python's built-in, the Python basically has a built-in library for managing configuration files, and that library defines that configuration file has to be written in this manner to be readable by that configuration manager. How it looks in code is, we can find it, logging config parser. So this config parser is comes from the Python, standard Python library. So it's not third party. So here I get a parser in, well, this is how you get it. And then you tell it to read a certain, you give it a file, and well, encoding, I guess it's optional, but I just specify that it's actually UTF-8. Because it has multiple languages, it has to be UTF-8. Otherwise, I think it might default to something, the system default. And well, it works fine on desktop, but when I deploy it to the server, then suddenly it starts reading the foreign characters, non-English characters, as gibberish. So that's why I need this. But basically, for the most part, you only need to pass in the file, which here is I don't remember where it's defined. Takes it from here, and where the, oh yeah, when I initialize. So yeah, this is where I assign it a value. So it has the name of the file. Since the file, the singleton file, which is actually looking for it, and the do not show on stream config file, both are on the same in the same directory, it doesn't have any path. So now when it's gonna be placed in the configuration language, it will have something like this: conf. I think it's, I don't know, it's config slash language slash, and then it will have like English.cfg. Or I think there is a way to read all the files in a given directory, so that's probably what I'll end up doing. So when I add, for example, if I want to add a translation to a different language, then I just create a new file, put the translations there, and the application itself will automatically detect that and load all the new translations. So that's how I want to make it in the end. So how it would work in the end. But yeah, the CFG doesn't really mean anything. Just for convenience sakes, for developer himself, and maybe for some editing software, because you could have, I'm not sure if you have an editor for this. Let's see, open with default editor, yeah. Let's see, config. Yeah, there's nothing. I guess you can have a plugin, for example, that instead of showing you just the text file, it gives you like a form where you can actually create the values and just like fields, like some sort of maybe not simplified, more controlled way of entering entries into the configuration file. So that's possible, but in general, it's just how I use it. I don't even remember why I started using it like this. I think it was in the example. In example, they showed that you just name your configuration files like that. Let's see, actually, I wanna know. Yes, because config parser is well, it's built in standard library. So config parser. Let's see. Parser, see server.com. So your file looks like this. So yeah, it has like these brackets, they have a special meaning, like, and why it uses capital letters? How can it use capital letters? Maybe it's a different version. No, I have no idea. Well, when I did this, it didn't work. Maybe they're doing something differently. So let's see, config parser. Oh, so ini. So they use example.ini as an extension. So, you know, it means nothing as well as CFG. Maybe maybe it means something, and if I used ini, then suddenly the capital letters in the names of the fields would start working. Let's see. Yeah. I have no idea why I use CFG. Maybe it's just a thing I used to do with working with something else. Maybe with Java we use CFG files. I don't remember. But in this case, well, it is just a text file. It's nothing special. Right. I was doing what? Oh yeah, creating more language files. Let's see, I have English, Russian, what's the next one? Portuguese. CFG. I guess I can just name them something else as well. Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll be ending the stream in like 10 minutes anyways. I'll probably tomorrow I'll make a Discord for the project. Tomorrow evening it should be done. I don't think I will do it in the morning. Last one is Spanish. File. Yes, I think that's how it's. What's the acronym? Yes, CFG. I guess I could rename them something else to represent that this is a translation. You know, let's just have txt actually. Like, why not? So people, if they wanna commit, wanna translate to some other language, and you wanna open the file and see what needs translating. Yeah, then probably would be less confusing if you get a txt file instead of a CFG file. Right. And then for the rest of the configuration, which ends up being quite short. Yeah, I should save this. So now nothing I can, well, all of this I don't really want to show on stream. What are actual values, all the passwords and so on. And why is this complaining? Hence, undefined variable from import. What? Did I break this? Did I break this? Might suddenly start complaining. I think I cut out something important. See, it complains here. Oh, this is the spaghetti code. Why I'm looking at it. It's irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Well, maybe not completely. Well, it's still running, so this is irrelevant for the changes I'm making now. For the most part. Right, so now to actually load the values, I need to make a different config parser, pass it different values. Oh, how should I load these? Because now strings, this is what, well, this is what holds, so section is the main section. So this is how, well, this is what gets assigned. The value inside these brackets gets assigned to section variable in the config parser. So that's what it references here. So that's how you access the actual value. So you take config parser, give him a section. So well, this will hold all the values, and then, well, it will be a dictionary pretty much. This is how you get the dictionary key values, and you iterate through them and assign them to your string, but you assign them in a different way. So this is yeah, this is a dictionary. So instead of having a dictionary inside the dictionary, you just have one dictionary with language and key. Oh no, you have actually a dictionary inside the dictionary. You know, I'm not sure this is, well, yes, it is what it is. And the rest of the configuration can go into the config folder. Problem occurred, okay. Guess it has outdated value. Still has system, okay, this has system assigned, so let's move it again. Okay, now it didn't crash. So now it's inside config. Move it here. Has to be the packages go first. Well, so do not show this on stream. Well, to load this properly now, okay. Okay, let's make it config file as in config slash run stream. Okay, this is good. But now for languages, for actually loading this, quick parser sections. So yeah, labels. Oh yeah, this gets assigned to labels. So instead of this, I think I will create a new method, define a new function. It's Python lingo. Find function, read translations, and it takes what it actually needs. It doesn't really need anything. It will define itself everything it needs. So it takes strings. Strings is a dictionary. This. So we'll be using the same terminology pretty much. So now, but now we need to initialize a new config parser. But before that, OS features. We need to read how many. You know what? I think I'm done for today. I still need to go to the shower, so. Right. Yeah, I guess I can leave this for tomorrow. See to do. Give ourselves a note to do. Read all translation files into dictionary. Run by the function. Yeah, something like this. Maybe running Python is not the best idea. You would need to have Python included in the. Yeah, I guess we would need to make it write it in C++ or something. Like the. Yeah. The dictionary returned by the function. Strings, dictionary. Yeah, well, I guess I'll implement it tomorrow. Start thinking about the VPNs and so on. That's gonna be an interesting project. Hopefully something good will happen out of it. Well, hopefully it actually gets implemented. If the people are actually interested and people will be participating, I'm sure that's gonna happen. I'm quite patient person. And look at this, like I managed to pull through making this garbage. Let's look at this spaghetti again. So if I manage, I guess anyone can do this, but now, well, I guess I haven't finished this. Rewriting it in a proper, better way, which is not that exciting. Like, you already have something that works, and now I'm just redoing it again. And like the functionality, well, and the goal is that it works the same. So, well, it's not even an improvement of It will be an improvement on the backside. It will be easier to maintain. It will be easier to add languages and so on. Well, the point is to add different bots, different menus. That's the main difference. That's what I aim to make easier with this. Right. Okay. Done. So wash myself. And yeah, tomorrow I'll just add this. Yeah, I guess tomorrow's theme could be all OS. Yeah, configuration parsing was, well, kind of. I touched on it a little bit. Well, I guess I answered some questions. So I think what was the name? Refactoring, configuration, loading. Yeah. Oh, I talked about configuration enough, I feel. Tomorrow I can do the language support. Because, yeah, what I want to do is actually read all the files in that directory and treat them all as submissions for those languages. And, yeah. Okay.